in school
What if doing well in school
and in life
and in life
depends on much more
depends on much more
than your ability to
learn quickly
and easily.
and easily?
I started studying kids and adults in
I started studying kids and adults
all kinds of super challenging settings.
in all kinds of super challenging settings.
And in every study, my question was,
And in every study, my question was,
who is successful here and why?
who is successful here and why?
My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy.
My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy.
We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training
We tried to predict which cadets will stay in military training
and which would drop out.
and which will drop out.
We went to the National Spelling Bee
We went to the National Spelling Bee
and tried to predict which children
and tried to predict which children
would advance farthest in competition.
will advance furthest in competition.
We partnered with private companies asking
We partnered with private companies asking,
which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs?
which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs?
Who's going to earn the most money?
And who's going to earn the most money?
In all those very different contexts,
In all those very different contexts,
one characteristic emerged
one characteristic emerged
as a significant predictor of success,
as a significant predictor of success.
and it wasn't social intelligence,
And it wasn't social intelligence,
it wasn't good looks,
it wasn't good looks,
physical health,
physical health,
and it wasn't IQ.
and it wasn't IQ.
It was grit.
It was grit.
Grit is passion and perseverance
Grit is patience and perseverance
for very long-term goals.
for very long-term goals.
Grit is having stamina.
Grit is having stamina.
Grit is sticking with your future.
Grit is sticking with your future.
Day in, day out,
Day in, day out,
not just for the week,
not just for the week,
not just for the month,
not just for the month,
but for years.
but for years.
And working really hard to make that future a reality.
And working really hard to make the future a reality.
A few years ago,
A few years ago,
I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools.
I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools.
I asked thousands of high school juniors
I asked thousands of high school juniors
to take grit questionnaires
to take grit questionnaires
and then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate.
and then went around more than a year to see who would graduate.
Turns out that grittier kids
were
significantly more likely to graduate, even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure.
even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure.
Things like family income,
Things like family income,
standardized achievement test scores,
standardized achievement test scores,
even how safe kids felt when they were at school.
even how safe kids felt when they were at schools.